Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. This is it.
This is Top Flight Time Machine. I am Andy Hotbody Dawson. Pow, pow, pow.
I'm Sam Nifty Delaney. So what?
Welcome along. It's the Monday morning episode, but we're doing it on Sunday evening. And if you're an IFS Patreon subscriber, that's when you get it advert free, nice and early. Wonderful. I don't know. Prediction League has come to an end. The Premier League's come to an end.
Yeah. Thank fuck. Sick of it. Sick of fucking football. Thinking I'm gonna. It's fucking boring and ridiculous. I'm thinking that I'll spend the summer tending to my flowers. I don't have any flowers, but I might start getting into growing flowers.
Right. You're gonna watch Euro 24, surely?
Nah, I'll be tending too busy. If I've got time away from the flowers, if I can find time, we'll have to see how much attention they require.
What are we looking at, like bedding plants? Are you going to go out and get some bedding plants from a garden centre or something?
I'm going fucking straight into roses. Like, no fucking about. I'm not working my... Everyone knows, if you're going to get into flowers, the big dog of the flower world is obviously roses, yeah?
It's the rose, yeah, because it's got thorns and every beauty and danger.
Yeah, exactly.
Hand in hand.
I'm like, listen, if I was a younger man, I'd work my way up through, some of the sort of simpler, less intimidating flowers as I learn how to do it. I haven't got time, mate. The clock's ticking on me. This is going to be my first foray into flower growing, flower husbandry.
Yeah.
Call it what you will. Right.
Cultivation.
And I'm 49. I haven't got time. I've got to go straight. I'm going straight to roses. And I'm going to grow... My whole fucking garden's going to be covered in roses. Every colour.
Can you get rose ready, like bushes or plants or whatever that'll start to flower straight away?
That's what I'm fucking going to be on in the market for,
I don't know.
AI ones.
I've got some roses in rose plants in my garden.
Oh yeah,
which are flowering right now. They've flowered over the last few days, and some beautiful roses have come out.
And were they there when you got there, or is this your doing?
They were there when I got there.
Right.
It came with the house. I got no idea what the backstory
you
is.
Probably paid a bit. You probably paid for that a bit extra, even if they told you or not.
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
A couple of grand, I reckon.
Worth it though. Fucking worth
definitely.
it. 'Cause now you get to look at them.
Yeah. I could send you some pictures.
Oh, I'd love to see I'd love to see the roses in your garden. Yeah.
Would you want to just see the roses themselves or the whole?
No, I'd like to see the whole thing. Send me a wide shot and a couple of close-ups. That would probably be best.
Yeah, no problem. Maybe a video.
Yeah,
if you're lucky.
Yeah.
So best of luck with that. But you're not going to watch Euro 24.
Like I said, it depends on the roses between now and August. Flowers are going to take priority over everything, including my family.
Right.
And,
including this podcast.
And, everything. Everything's going on the back burner, right? Mm-hmm. And I'll just have to see. I mean, if it's on in the background while I'm tending to my roses, I'll have a look. Yeah, why not? But...
You remember when the telly would go off, there'd be a break in transmission because there'd be a technical fault or something. And they'd say, apologies for the interruption in transmission. The caption on the screen would say that, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
We will return to normal programmes as soon as possible.
Yeah.
We're going to be putting out episodes that's got that kind of music that used to play in the background.
That was my favourite bit. I used to love it when there was an interruption.
Yeah. Because you got the jeopardy of when's it going to come back?
And what about...
Working out what's wrong.
Didn't they sometimes show a potter's wheel as well? They'd just
that was before our time. That was the intermission.
Sometimes they'd go, right,
between programmes.
Time to look at some pottery. And if that was me, I'd have been like, this is better than the fucking programme. It's that relaxing.
Fuck Blue Peter.
Yeah, fuck Blue Peter, fucking boring. This is just some geezer making a fucking... This is hypnotic.
Yeah. Well, what we'll be doing is we'll be putting out entire episodes of that background music.
Yeah.
And at the beginning, I'll just say, today's episode of Top Flight Time Machine has been cancelled owing to Sam's ongoing obsession with roses and the growing of roses.
Keep an eye.
And
subscribers,
just play for half an hour.
Keep an eye on the Patreon. He may be posting some videos and images of his roses.
Yeah. We'll still get the ad money. Even if we're just putting out music.
Do you know what I would love, mate? I would love it if me and you could do a gardening show.
Yeah.
It would be really good. I don't know anything about gardening, but it's always appealed to me, the idea of it. And obviously I'm going to learn roses over summer. But, yeah, like, I just think they should take a chance on us, like BBC Two.
I've said it before. I'm at the age now where I see gardening coming into view from the distance.
The one thing...
It's inevitable.
I often... Because obviously, you know, we both have a shared love of garden centres. And so if you like going to garden centres, which I really do, sooner or later you're going to want to start buying gardening equipment while you're there, right? I mean, I mainly go there for the cafeterias, but, you know, obviously I'm thinking, there's some nice gardening gloves, you know. I also like the thing, you know, there's a sort of a mat that you put down that you can kneel on so your knees don't get worn.
When you're weeding.
That's another thing.
I own 2 of those mats.
They're really brilliant.
Yeah. And I've got 2 pairs of gardening gloves.
Have you really? For your weeding?
One of them, one pair it's almost just like a regular kind of glove. It's got lots of flexibility in the fingers, but the other pair I've got is a more robust glove, which you could kind of rest a kestrel or the bird of prey on.
Oh, yeah. Like,
and that's good for roses because the thorns won't go through it.
Yeah. Like a gauntlet.
It's like a gauntlet, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't go full length of the arm.
No.
I'll send you pictures.
I might get a chainmail one, like what you feed sharks with.
Get an entire fucking suit of armour.
Yeah, I've got a garden in my fucking garden. Well, remember, if I'm going into the roses game, they are, like you say, they're dangerous. So I will need something very protective.
Fucking tricky set of cunts, the roses.
Yeah, they are.
They'll get you. You're not expecting it.
Don't fuck about. Don't go in blind.
Thorns everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
Well,
but the thing the only thing putting me off the gardening caper is my back, right? Because there is a lot of kneeling down and then having to get up, and my lower back, I'm a martyr to it as it is, mate. And I worry that the day will arrive where I go down and I can't get back up again.
You got to roll over and just lie there for a couple of days.
Yeah, like a fucking beetle on its back, struggling to get back up.
Kicking his legs in the air. It could happen.
Yeah, so that, I'm a bit nervous. Nervous Gardener t-shirt idea.
I did some weeding about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. And
it was over exuberant. I was feeling pain in muscles I didn't know I had in the evening afterwards.
Yeah.
You got to go easy.
I'm very lazy about weeds, but the other day I was in my garden, I became furious. I was like, look at the fucking state of this place. And there was a big, quite like triffid-like one growing out of a sort of a rockery. I call it a rockery. There's a corner of the garden that just has loads of like pebbles in it. And there was a big fucking cunt growing out of it. And it looked aggressive. I sort of looked at it and I almost like felt animosity toward. I was like, what the fuck are you looking at, cunt? Do you know what I mean? It was an aggressive looking weed.
Where'd you come from?
Yeah. It wasn't one of these little ones that looked like lettuce. It had a big fucking stem, right?
And the stem grow fast as well.
And the stem had like sort of white kind of what looked like white sort of feathery bits sticking out. I thought,
fucking bastard.
Cunt. So I just, in a moment of madness, I just thought, fuck this, and I reached out and I grabbed the cunt by its throat. And I squeezed it and pulled it out, and I went, ah! Because there were loads of tiny, tiny little spikes, and they all went in my fucking hand, right? And that's it. That's evolution. They've done that to protect themselves from cunts like me. And I went in. It was a valuable lesson learned. I went in blind. I just sort of thought, fuck it, I can take this cunt, no problem. End of the day, he's a weed. What does weed mean? It means weakling, right? I'll fucking take it, no problem. I'll take this cunt down. Well, I got my comeuppance because my hand had like these tiny, microscopic little thorns in that I could feel them, but I couldn't see them well enough to pick them out. So I didn't know what to do. I just went and ran my hand under the tap for ages and hoped that some would wash away.
It'd fall out.
But the part of my hand was itchy for ages. No, it didn't work. I was in discomfort for a couple of days.
You need some tweezers or something like that, but even then you can't see them.
Now it stopped hurting. I think my body just absorbed them. in the end. I don't know.
Yeah, it will have done. They'll have just slowly gone under your skin, into your flesh.
Yeah.
They'll be in your blood
the
now.
human body can absorb weeds.
It just
and
absorbs
thorns.
everything, puts it into the blood, and then shits it out.
Yeah, I'll have shut that out now.
Yeah, out of your blood.
So so it is a difficult. You know, we're both drawn to gardening, but we're both all too aware of the dangers. Yeah,
I'm glad that's happened to you early doors, because it's giving you a warning. You could have got complacent.
I won't go in without gloves again. No way.
Get the gloves, mate. You got to get the gloves.
Yeah, I'll be wearing the protective fucking masks and everything, like a welder's. I'm going to wear a welder's mask with visor.
Well, I've finally unboxed the jet washer that I got last year, the other day. And I've been doing some bit of jet washing on the paving stones that I've got out the back.
Yeah.
And fucking hell, the result is incredible. They were so grubby, and I didn't realise how grubby they were till I jet washed them.
Yeah. Did you get a Kershaw? Is that
no?
This brand?
I've got I think it's a Black and Decker that I've got.
Right.
I can't remember now. But decent
It's
brand,
one of the most satisfying things you can watch, isn't it? Jet washing a dirty surface.
But I just got absolutely covered in muck. I was wearing shorts. I don't think you're meant to do when you jet wash.
No, you're supposed to wear chainmail trousers, I think, aren't you?
Well, that's what I'm going to be looking towards. Yeah, my legs were covered in dirt. My shorts were filthy. They needed to be washed. I'm going to get one of them all-in-one boiler suits.
Oh, yeah, boiler suits.
One of them plastic boiler suits.
Boiler suits are fucking awesome. They're the best, aren't they?
I'm going to get a set of them. They're about £10 online. And I'll get like a breathing mask, like Alternate used to wear. Do you remember the ravers?
Yeah, like those cunts who come and try and get E.T. at the end of E.T. They all fucking turn up and start trying to get him, don't they? That's the costume
I'm going for.
Yeah.
E.T. needs a deep dive. He was brilliant.
Oh, fucking E.T. was absolutely
just the bits when he's in it, though, not the other shit.
No, I love the whole film. But you're right. I mean, the bits with E.T. are the best bits. But I love everything about that film. In fact, I was talking about it the other day. There's the bit where, like, Elliot is at school and they're all supposed to be dissecting frogs. And he suddenly feels like there's something wrong about this. I don't think we should be cutting up these frogs. So he just suddenly goes mental and starts unscrewing the lids off all the jars, and all the frogs escape him, and there's fucking frogs going mad everywhere, right? Which is obviously Steven Spielberg. He knows what he's fucking doing. He's like, what this film needs,
genius.
What this fucking film needs is a scene where there's just fucking frogs everywhere in a school going mad. That is what people that'll get people going, because there can be a lull in the middle of the film, right? And this will be the best bridge over that lull. But interesting.
What a cooler moment.
Yeah, then I'll be talking about in the office next day, right? What about the bit with the fucking frogs?
See it at the same time.
But like there's a girl in it, and she's really pretty. This girl, not Sam Nancy, but she's she's this pretty little girl that Elliot obviously has the hots for. And once he emancipates the frogs, you can see she's thinking, he's a good guy, I like him. And that girl grew up to be Erica Eleniak. Do you know who Erica Eleniak is? She was the one off of Baywatch.
Was she in Baywatch?
Before Pammy. Do you remember?
Yes.
So Pammy became like the big thing in Baywatch, but before Pammy, if you were Baywatch original, right, if you were old school Baywatch viewer in the early 90s, before Pammy even came along, it was all about Erica Eleniak. And she's in that bit in E.T. But obviously the best bit in E.T., and one of the best bits in any film ever, is when E.T. gets pissed.
Yes. Maybe we should just deep dive that bit.
That bit when is E.T. fucking history brilliant.
Box. When E.T. gets pissed.
He just goes, yeah, I think we should. That's just one episode on E.T. getting pissed. He goes in the fridge and he just gets a load of cans out and just starts fucking smashing into them.
He's stuck in the house on his own, isn't he?
Yeah, he's bored shitless, poor cunt.
Well, the kid gets drunk as well. Elliot gets drunk with him, doesn't he?
Yeah, because he gets drunk because they're connected somehow through alien magic. So anything that's happening to Elliot, anything that's happened to E.T., Elliot feels. So Elliot, so E.T.'s bored shitless in the house. We've all been there, haven't we? When you're really bored, you've got nothing to do. It's like when you're unemployed, and in the end, you just think, "Fuck it, I've got some cans in the fridge. I'm watching it now. I'm just going to have them. I'm just going to have those cans. I'm that fucking bored. I'm going to have those cans until Neighbours starts, and then by the time Neighbours comes on, I'll be quite pissed."
He's got his check shirt on as well.
Yeah, he dresses up for it, doesn't he? Doesn't he? I thought he was wearing he wears a dressing gown at one point.
Is it? Oh, that's what it is. It's a dressing gown, yeah.
Yeah, he's in a dressing gown with a can of beer, just wandering around the house in the middle of the day.
It's on YouTube. It's 4 minutes 16.
So that's easily
like 3
enough.
Episodes.
That's easy enough for a history box. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that. Great. I'll put that on the list. Where is the list? There it is. Put it at the top. E.T. gets drunk. Yeah, that's good. Probably in the next 6 months.
Jalapeño.
Here's a brief but annoying message to let you know that you wouldn't be hearing this brief but annoying message if you were a subscriber to our Iron Filing Society Patreon offering.
For the price of a pint and a St. Clement's each month, you can get up to 4 episodes a week, 9 months before the rest of the world gets them. Early access to regular episodes, lots of other marvellous benefits, and there's absolutely no adverts or brief but annoying messages like this that'll get right on your tits.
Find out more and subscribe now at tftimemachine.com/ironfilings.
Jalapeño. Jalapeño.
Just looking across him, my son had a couple of mates around this afternoon, and one's gone, but the other one, he's still here. And he told me, I said earlier, like a dad came around to pick up the other one, and he said to the other kid, "Do you want a lift? Because I'll be driving past you." I said, "No, my dad's coming to get me." So then go, "Oh, yeah. Does he know the address?" Yeah, he's coming. I'm like, I don't know what to do, because this was hours ago. I don't know whether the... Shit. I mean, what's the protocol, mate? I don't know the dad. I ain't got his number.
Well, it looks like the kid's yours now.
I know, that's what I'm starting to think. I don't mind, he's a nice lad, but it's going to cost money. That's one of the things I'm worried about. Because he'll want feeding, won't he? I mean, even now, when I finish this pod, we're going to have dinner. So what, is he going to have some of it?
And some of yours.
Yeah, exactly. Is it going to come off my fucking plate?
Looks like it. Some of it will.
Fucking hope not.
Quarter of it.
So straight away, there's all sorts of... There's a lot of issues here. There's a lot of admin involved in this fostering of a child that has been suddenly thrust upon me.
Is he possibly an orphan? I mean, where does your boy know him from? From school or just from on the street?
No, he's... He got my son recently got recruited to a pickpocketing organisation in central London, run by just sort of like a criminal, like an old man who's a criminal, and he runs gangs of pickpocketers. And he's just met this kid through that. One of them. Yeah, he's like I don't know, like I think he's an urchin. Is that what you call them? I think he's an urchin. Yeah.
It sounds like there's no parents involved there.
Right. So he's just
lying. It sounds
like
the old man.
When he says my dad's coming to get him. The old man's
kind of a de facto father figure. But other than that, he probably sleeps just rough. Or wherever he can rest his head.
He'll have to sleep. I don't know. He'll have to sleep on the sofa.
Yeah, kick him out. Just kick him out into the street.
I can't kick him out. No, he's a minor. I think I just have to take responsibility. You're used to it, aren't you? Go on, fuck off now.
Yeah.
It's time for my tea. We're having noodles. We're having noodles for dinner, and I just don't want to share them.
There's not enough noodles for everyone. So he'll just stand out there in the road, just outside, looking sort of longingly towards the window as you're all eating your noodles. He might sit on that chair you've got, a seat or bench, whatever it is, that's at the front. That woman came and sat in that time.
Yeah, the woman who fucking came and sat in it. There's some fucking... I'm actually thinking of moving soon. We've been in this house quite a long time, and for various reasons we've been thinking about moving, to the extent that this morning I went out.
Reasons.
I went out for reasons I shall not go into.
Because after certain incidents that have occurred, some my fault, but many not my fault.
Some open to debate about whose fault it was. Open-ended debate. Maybe debates that will never be resolved fully.
Sometimes blame could be attached to more than one individual in an incident. The truth lies in the middle sometimes.
The situations are complex. In many ways, all situations in life are complex. And that is God's challenge to us. And
everyone's worldview is different.
And I have made the decision that sometimes when you are in a complicated situation, the best thing to do is run away from it and leave. leave the postcode completely and start a new life, maybe with a new name. Who knows? I
will call myself Chip Washington.
And I am a professional poker player from Denver, Colorado.
Relocated, who's also been driven out of his preferred hometown
after a disagreement with some local Native Americans over some land, which he won. Anyway, I'm going too deep into it. The point is,
that's for the future.
But like, yeah, and anyway, I did go to another area someone. I said, let's take Doug for a walk in another area and see what it's like, whether we could live around there. Anyway, cut a long story short, I couldn't. I thought it was shit. So I thought, well, that's that fucking over with. And then I came home and there was some weirdo in my street doing a strange manoeuvre with his motor. And I suddenly went, this fucking area is fucking weird. There's a lot of weird people in this street. That's another good reason to move. I've had enough of it now. And then we went for a dog walk about 2 hours later, and we were walking along by the river, paying my respects to old Father Thames, Britain's hardest river. And as I was walking off the towpath up a slope, narrow slope, that's just part of the towpath that leads back up to like the pavement, like the street.
Civilization.
Yeah. I was walking up it, and I will admit, I quickly checked my phone to see what the West Ham City score was, because I had turned my back on watching the game the moment we'd gone 2-0 down. Fuck this, I'm going out for a fucking dog walk. I'm gonna go and talk to the river about it. He'll know what to do. Right. Anyway, I just checked, and as I looked down and checked, right, I was at the bottom of this little slope. I suddenly had this woman shout at me, "Watch out!" Right? And she was freewheeling on a bicycle down the path. The path is wide enough not for two people to stand side by side. It's a one-person path. And it was a towpath, right?
Was she coming from behind you?
No, she was coming from in front of me, and she shouted, "Watch out!" Right? And she was freewheeling down on a bicycle at me down this slope, as if she had right away, and I was the cunt. It probably annoyed her that I was looking at my phone, which is a legitimate reason to be annoyed, I suppose.
Not illegal.
But I wasn't walking in the fucking road. I was walking on a path that is designed for walking on by pedestrians. And she was fucking...
It's not one of those hybrid ones that's for cyclists and pedestrians, is it?
And I jumped out the way. I had to jump out the way, right? And I'm the one causing trouble, but I'm trying to not cause so many situations. So I didn't say anything, but my wife was so taken aback. She just shouted at this woman, "How about an excuse me?" And the woman whizzed past me, and do you know what she shouted? She went, "Absolutely not. No, never." And then she went round the corner, and I just said, in my new attempt to be like a calmer, more like reasonable citizen, I just said, "Why?" I went, "Why are you so rude?" Right?
Why?
The lady, you wanker. What? The lady, you wanker. Why? It was like that. I went, "Why are you so rude?" And she just fucking tore off. Anyway, I'll be honest with you, mate. It really bothered me, right? I thought that was so rude. First of all, just coming down that slope. She's a middle-aged woman, right?
Yeah.
And sort of like, she was a middle-aged woman. She looked, if you saw her, you'd think, "Oh, that's a respectable woman." It was aggressive. It was really aggressive, right? Like, also the bit, "No, never, definitely not."
That's
right?
terrible.
Why the fuck did you say that? I thought that's
never.
I thought to myself,
why so rigid in your thinking?
What's that mean? Like, I'm never I'm gonna speed everywhere on this bike, and I will never apologise to anyone who gets in my way, right? Ever. And I've
never used basic common courtesy. And excuse me.
If I come round, if I'm on a bike, I mean, I'm not often on a bicycle, but if I am, if I'm coming down a fucking path, even if I do have right of way, I've got the courtesy to fucking, or the common sense to look out for anything in my way, not just fucking freewheel at top speed and shout "watch out" at anyone who gets in my way, right? Yeah.
Do you ring your bell? You got a bell?
Pring pring. No, if I don't own a bike, if I'm on a bike, it'll be a Lime bike, which is one of these street bikes that they have, you know.
Right. Did you excuse me?
I think they do have pring prings on them, actually. But anyway, I'm very rarely in a situation like that because I'm on the back foot. If I'm on a bicycle, I'm never aggressive on it because I think, hang on a minute, I'm the cunt on two wheels here. I'm hard to see. I am going to drive. I'm going to cycle defensively. That's what I'm going to do. I will never go on the attack.
Defensive cyclist T-shirt.
I'm a defensive cyclist. I'm never an offensive cyclist. She was an offensive cyclist in every sense of the word. It bothered me a lot. I was with my wife, my daughter, and the dog. I actually had to walk ahead of my wife and daughter by a few yards for the rest of the way home because I was fuming inside. But I didn't want to. Yeah. I didn't want to burden them with how angry I was. Right. And
park it.
And I was like, actually, I'm not just. It's not that I'm angry. I'm sort of like, I'm kind of like upset. I mean, I am tired. I woke up late. Anyway, I couldn't stop thinking about it. And then about 5 minutes later, we got down our road. Who's coming the other way? In our road, the fucking woman.
Whoa.
And she stopped.
Still freewheeling or pedaling at this point?
Well, she had to pedal. She was no longer on a slope. And she's come round the corner. And I think she's seen us, and she stopped, and then she just wheeled the bike into. And I realised she lives on our road, or she was visiting someone on our road, but like about 10 houses up. And I was like, you know, when someone's upset you so much, you're almost rehearsing what you should have said or you could have said. That old thing. Oh fuck! I should have said this. Should have done that. And then suddenly I had the opportunity, but I took a big breath and I just turned to my wife and I went, "Should I say something?" And she just laughed and went, "No, she's insane. Like, what are you going to say that would make any difference to her?" And I
can't reason with people like that.
And I just thought, yeah, that's true. And anyway, then after that, I thought, yeah, she's mad, and she must be unhappy. That's what I thought. And I'm not happy about her being unhappy. It's a shame. But I suppose the point of the story is sometimes if you're in a fragile mood, someone saying something rude to you can really bother you. Like sometimes you don't give a shit. Sometimes people say much worse than that and I'm like laughing it off. But sometimes if you're feeling fragile and tired, it's like, it really fucking got to me. But I suppose I'm quite pleased with myself is when I did get an opportunity to go say something to her, I didn't. Because ultimately, what would have been the fucking point? Plus as well, I'm some 6'2" bald cunt walking down the street, and she actually looked like a very reasonable woman who was a little bit older than me. And I thought, it's not going to look good to a passerby who doesn't know the context, see me fucking shouting invective at this like fucking Miss Marple character.
Do you want to know who I've been picturing her as during this entire story? Susan Boyle.
No.
Don't know. No,
she
just said Miss Marple there, so that's different.
No, but she wasn't like Miss Marple either. I'm trying to think who she was like. Who's the woman who's, you know, Dead Ringers, right? Yeah. You know Dead Ringers, that thing where they all do the impersonations. Who's the woman on that? Not
Jan Ravens.
Yeah, Jan Ravens. She looked like Jan Ravens.
That's who it was.
But no, it wasn't Jan Ravens, but it looked like Jan Ravens.
Well, it could have been around your way.
Don't. No, I have Jan Ravens. Has been spotted before around this way, but it definitely wasn't Jan Ravens.
Of course, obviously. Fucking hell. This has been yet another episode where we've managed to not address the Noel Edmonds update that's been happening.
Well, I think maybe that we need to do a Noel special sometime soon, separate, because he has been on manoeuvres, let's say, and there's too much to cover. We need to do a special.
Let's do a Noel special tomorrow, and we'll put it out on late Monday or Tuesday or something like that.
Yeah, we'll do a Noel special.
There's at least two.
We'll do a catch-up on all of the Noel stuff that's been going on.
All the Noel play that's been going on.
There's been a lot of Noel play.
Active.
Yeah, he's been active. He's actually been quite quiet for a couple of years, and now all of a sudden, bang, like he's on manoeuvres big time.
we can examine what it all is and why and everything.
Someone sent me a clip of him the other day as well. I think it might have been Nigel Adderley sent me a clip of him doing a stunt in the 80s on one of his TV shows, because he just used his TV shows to pursue his own sort of boyish fantasies or like ambitions. Like it was one big Jim will fix it just for him. So like that whole thing he did that we reviewed that summer, he just went...
Well, I'm going to stop you. I'm going to tell you to save it for the Null special.
All right.
Don't fucking knock out some Null content now.
No, you're right. Let's look at the Predictions League and how it all ended.
It ended brilliantly for you. Today, with all 10 games, you got a very respectable 9 points. Well, slightly respectable, given that there was 10 matches. I got 6 points. Result Spot got 5. You are crowned this season's prediction champion. 142 points. A Result Spot 127 and me 123. So a resounding victory in the end.
Great. It's been a couple of years since I won. But as you know, I brought in a new coaching technique for myself this season. Long overdue. Sort of
there is that, yeah.
Bit back to my total predicting style of a few years ago when I won.
Yeah.
And it feels good because it's been a couple of years without the trophy, so it's good to have it back. Thank you to everyone, God, my mother, and everyone else who helped me on this journey.
Yeah.
And Nigel Kennedy, of course.
Of course. Right, we'll leave it there then. That's covered everything. We'll do a Null special tomorrow for everybody. And snip, snap, snout, this tale's told out.